the humor is going to be up to you today, Emily, just so you know.
That's funny you say that because I was literally going to ask you. So you're going to tell some jokes today, right, Kirsch?
Nope. 6:03. We're at 55 this morning. Stepped outside. It's actually chilly.
Yes. And I have told you time and time again, I'm sure, that I'm a freak about my son's temperature in the room.
Yeah.
And I did not dress him appropriately for this cold weather, so I feel bad.
Did he survive?
Yes, he's fine, but still I feel bad because I'm the kind, you can't give him a blanket yet. And I'm like, I just want to give you a blanket so you're okay.
I'm sure he's happy. He's all good. It's July 1st, which is crazy. It's officially the second half of the year.
Yeah.
It's National Chicken Wing Day and it's National Reggae Day, International Reggae Day.
So have some chicken wings and listen to some reggae.
Play some reggae. And we might have to use reggae as talkover music for our breaks as we make it through the day today. Kirsch and Emyle, New Country, fewer commercials, New Country 103.9. What is that song called, Emily?
Yo Place.
Yo Place. There it is. Today is National Reggae Day, International Reggae Day. And you thought that I would not be prepared for this. But
I should never doubt you. That's the thing. I've learned that already in life.
I was like, let's talk over some reggae this morning. I mean, fire things up, make it kind of chill this morning. It's 6:10.
It's a holiday week.
This music sounds weird when it's 55 degrees, though, doesn't it?
A little bit, yeah. I feel like it should be played with like 80-degree weather, but that's just me.
So I don't know if you saw that hurricane is going across the I think it's the Windward Islands last night. It's going to be hitting Jamaica and things like that. It's crazy for this time of year.
I'm nervous about how many we're going to get in the United States. That's for sure.
I know, right? And we were in Jamaica a couple of years back, and I fell in love with the people down there. So like my wife and I were talking about it last night, and we're like, oh no, this hurricane's going to go across. And we started naming all the people that we got to know who worked at our resort. We're like, oh, I hope they're okay. I hope Asani's okay, and Richard.
He's like, yeah, man. Invite, by the way.
What's that?
I appreciate the invite, by the way.
To our anniversary trip in Jamaica. Yeah, that's the first thing we want to do. It's like, hey, happy anniversary, honey.
Here's Emily.
Don't be too loud. Emily's over there sleeping. What'd you do this weekend? Well, first of all, I know part of what you did this weekend. First birthday party for your son.
Yes.
We were hanging at Emily's house on Saturday.
Yes.
You guys dodged a bullet with the weather. It turned out to be pretty decent.
I know, because I was like, I want all of these kids outside.
And they were.
I put up a bounce house. Thank goodness. And thank goodness for Betty bringing the bounce house. But it was fun. He had a blast. He was living his best life, not napping after, of course, because he's a party animal. I'm raising a party animal.
Well, your mom had a party for him yesterday. He had dual birthday parties.
Yes, and I think it's ridiculous. So, it's a little ridiculous, right? She's throwing her own birthday party.
It's Mama Clark's world.
We all just live in it. World, and that's just who she is. And I told her, no, this is the only year. And I'm actually, after throwing the party, I'm thinking about just traveling next year for his birthday.
I would do that. 100%. I actually had a chill weekend for a change.
I was going to say you did, didn't you?
It's the first one and only one for the foreseeable future. So, Emily, do you want the reggae music again this morning?
I feel like I do. Yes.
All right. It's international. It's International Reggae Day today. So we're using this at least for now. As we start you out Monday morning, it's 53. Temperatures are actually dropping. So as you head outside, you get your day started. You might need your heated seat on the way to work today.
I love using that feature in my car. And yes, I know how to use it. Before you ask.
I use it because my back hurts more often than not. I'm like, I need my, I wish it got hotter. Let's do some happy headlines. Start your Monday out with some happy. What do we got?
Okay, so Mattel is updating Uno so people who are colorblind can play, which I think that's amazing. I never thought of that either. That makes me feel bad. I never thought of that.
Let me ask you, colorblind people with traffic lights, do they call it a red light, yellow light, green light, or do they call it top light, middle light, bottom light, or what do they do?
I'm assuming it's top light, but I don't know.
Top light instead of stoplight.
Yes. But I thought that was, happy and fun and inclusive.
That is pretty cool.
You'll love this one. A lost dog was found after 2 years and 1,000 miles away.
How do animals do this? I hear these who go missing, cats who go missing, or, the family that moves and then all of a sudden somehow their pet gets left behind, or no, their pet goes back to the house like it's 1,000 miles.
It's like a homeward bound thing. It's making me want to cry already.
All right, let's move on. That is supposed to be happy headlines.
I know, but so yes, a Maryland man was reunited with his lost dog after she went missing 2 years ago and ended up 1,000 miles away. She chased animals into the woods, and then he thought she was gone for good, but he received a phone call from LaBelle Animal Control in Florida telling him that a Good Samaritan turned over the loose dog and the microchip scan.
Well, that's good. He had his pet actually registered to the microchip.
Yes.
And a lot of people don't, so good for him.
And then this one makes me happy too. A 12-year-old saved a classmate's life. So they were on a school field trip to the beach and came home, and the boy came home a hero. He was hanging out in the sand with his class at Spring Lake Beach when he looked out in the lake and noticed a classmate struggling to keep his head above water. Although there were lifeguards on duty, the quick-thinking 7th grader didn't call out for help. Instead, he jumped right into action and swam to his friend to help. So he grabbed him by the shoulders and held him above water long enough for the lifeguards to arrive and take over.
I feel like some people are just naturally like, hey, I'm just going and doing that. I've always wondered what I would do in a situation like that.
Oh, yeah, same.
I hope I'd be the guy who's like, let me go.
Yeah, I know. And that's why I give, first responders so much credit because they act. Yeah. So those are happy, good news that you start your 4th of July week off.
Kirsch and Emyle, we're at 7:13 on Monday morning. Hopefully it's going to be a short work week for you, or at least you have Thursday off for the 4th of July. Emily doesn't. I do. Somehow we scored that. I don't understand.
It's okay though. I'm here for it. I love it.
You are turning red already because you
so
skipped over the story we're going to talk about.
I'm so upset.
Came across this on Friday. There was an article in Newsweek where the writer talked about why Taylor Swift is not a good role model for younger people. Now, I want you to do us all a favor. Try to explain your personal level of Swiftiness.
Okay, listen, I've been a fan of hers since she was just starting out. I mean, so an OG fan. But I will also say I will call her out, to my friends because I don't know her, when it's needed. Because there are some things I don't always agree with. So I'm not one of those like, she can't do anything wrong kind of things. Right. But
so Emily's a hardcore Swiftie though.
Yeah. I mean, this article's ridiculous. Absolutely.
So let me
ridiculous.
just read this. I don't want this to come across like this is my opinion or anything. I just want to read this article. It says Taylor Swift is literally one of the most influential people on the planet right now. But is it a good thing? A writer for Newsweek doesn't think so. His name is John McGillian, I think is how you say it. And he wrote this opinion piece called Taylor Swift is not a good role model for young people. And here's why he feels that way. For starters... She's unmarried. Hold on a second here. She's unmarried and childless at 34. The shame. He says, quote, we must ask if her personal life choices are ones we would want for our sisters and daughters to emulate.
So one, I'm going to say John, I think, is that his name? John.
John, yeah.
I think he's upset he didn't get tickets to the Eras tour also. That's why he wrote this. I'm just saying.
He says if you're not on board with that one, it's understandable. But it's somewhat related to the author's next point, which is Taylor's, quote, revolving door of relationships. Would any loving parent reading this want their daughter to date 12 different guys in the span of just a few years?
Okay. She hasn't. That's the funny thing. She hasn't. Like, she was with Joe, her ex, for 6 years. And that's the stuff drives me crazy because where's the article on Leonardo DiCaprio?
That's very
honestly, it's not a lie. The minute his girlfriend's turned 25, he's done with them and it's on to another one.
Ready for this one?
Yes.
Okay. The author also makes a few other points. He said the way Taylor always plays the victim in her breakups and the fact that she makes it seem like, quote, partners can be replaced as easily as toilet paper.
Okay. So he clearly doesn't listen to any of her songs because there's so many. She admits she's the one who, broke off the relationship or did something wrong. Also, I'm just throwing this out there. It's music. It can be interpreted so many different ways. They're not all about men. Some are about friendships. Some are about just like life.
You passionate about something. She's turning red over here.
It's ridiculous because it's not true. And also, it's just the standard, the double standard.
It's kind of true.
No, it's not.
How did I score Thursday off, but you didn't?
Probably because I love America. And Country 103.9. So, I'm just saying.
Because of all my America hate. What are you talking about? Okay, so I have to tell you what happened this weekend. I want to learn when my kids learn to prank me. You ready for this?
Yes.
So yesterday we were getting ready to head out for the day and run some errands, and we ended up over at Zumbizi Bay and all kinds of stuff, right? We're getting ready, and all of a sudden, Mrs. Kirsch looks at her phone, and she goes, oh no. And I'm like, what? And she reads me the text. And our daughter Kylie had texted us and said to the family group chat, Mom, Dad, I flushed the toilet and it's overflowing all over the place. It's spilling all over the bathroom. That was not true.
I was going to say, you know why I wouldn't believe it?
Why?
She's in the house, right?
Yeah, she's in the house.
In the house, right?
Yeah.
I feel like just knowing your daughter, she would have came running down screaming, not texted you that.
I don't know. Anymore, they text us more than they talk to us, like in the house.
That's like an emergency. So I feel like I'm just going to go with,
Yeah, you know what? So it's funny because, I started swearing and everything else and grabbed
a plunge. Before?
Yes, it has happened before. Your kids are a little earlier or a little older. Things happen. Nothing surprises you anymore. It's like, but yeah. So she texted me. Oh, it's overflowing all over the place. It's spilling all over the place. So I grabbed the plunger and some towels, and I was ready to get like my shop vac out and everything else because it was on a wood floor. I was picturing. And then she hears me running down the stairs, and she's like, "It was a prank." Ha! One of her friends put her up to it. I'm like, "You little brat."
That's so funny. It's funny, but it's also like, don't prank about that stuff.
When did they learn to do this?
I know.
Like,
where did they learn?
I know exactly where they learned.
I'm sorry you fell for that.
Their father, that's where they learned. Zach Bryan and Casey Musgraves with Kirsch and Emyle New Country. Fewer commercials, New Country 103.9. Did you see who he brought up on stage at his show in Nashville?
Yes, and it drives me crazy.
He brought the Haktua girl up on stage.
How proud you must feel, right?
And he's like, come on up here. Like, why does it drive you crazy?
Because it's just like when these little stupid things get viral and make these people super famous for 2 seconds. It's all you see everywhere. I think that's why it's driving me crazy.
You just want to be that famous. That's what it is.
That. No, I would be embarrassed, actually.
Right. I mean, here's the thing. That girl, I don't know how old is she?
She's got to be in her 20s.
Yeah, so that's going to live with her for a long time, right?
Right. I don't know how. I tried to Google it, but nope.
Yeah. You're Googling how old is Haktua girl.
And I'm like, it's going to show up everywhere. Oh, she's 23. That makes sense.
Yeah, well, yeah, that's going to live with her for a good decade or so. All right, so little things that add up. We were talking about subscriptions and how I think we have all of them. We've got Netflix, Hulu, Peacock, Paramount, Disney Plus. We've got YouTube Premium. We've got it all.
So really, we're just here to save you money, because you don't think about these things that just add up until you're like, oh, why don't I have any money? Yeah. And
then you realize you're paying, $900 a month to watch one show on each of them. Yes. You know what really adds up to is the busier your life gets, the more you pay for convenience.
Yes.
And I've found that DoorDash and Grubhub and all of those are very, very popular in the Kirsch house because of how crazy everything is. But man, is it we got Cane's the other day.
Oh my gosh.
Grubhub, and a 3-finger combo, which is normally like $9 or whatever, shows up at the house. It was $40 to have it delivered to the house.
Yes, let's stay on the subject for a second, because you have the service, right, where you probably pay for it for a year or whatever.
I don't know what we have. I just order.
Which is another subscription, right? So, but why do you feel like you end up paying more sometimes when you have these subscriptions to food services? Why am I still paying a convenience fee?
They charge you so that you feel important. You have your subscription and you're like, yeah, I'm awesome. I've got this subscription or whatever it is. So I can use the service. You use it more and then you end up paying. It's so dumb.
And coffee. Everyone loves a good Starbucks, right?
Oh, yeah.
Getting that on the way to work or anywhere every day, it adds up.
Now my girls are always like, can we go to Starbucks, Dad? Can we go to Starbucks? I tell everybody to buy them Starbucks gift cards, and then they load them on their phone. And I'm like, yeah, we'll go. You're paying.
Oh, yep. No, I did that. It's smart. I do that with my mom, too. Don't worry.
I tricked them into buying mine the other day. It was great. Short work week for a lot of folks coming up this week, Emily, except for you.
I really, really appreciate that. You know what? Again, I'm here for it. I like it.
Around this time every morning, we talk shower thoughts. It's all the random stuff that goes through our head. And yesterday, actually, Sid and Mrs. Kirsch, we're talking about this on air tomorrow. We were at Zoombezi Bay yesterday, which, as soon as I said that, what was your reaction?
You were enjoying a nice cocktail in the lazy river, I'm assuming?
No, you said people watching.
Oh, yes, people watching. They're probably one of the best places.
It is. It's not as good as the Ohio State Fair.
That's true. That's very true.
Our sister station, 99.7 The Blitz, is part of a huge rock festival every year. That rivals all of them. But Zoombezi Bay is not too far behind.
So what did you see out there in the wild?
It wasn't what I saw. It was what I heard. So does it drive you as crazy as it drives me when people have Bluetooth speakers and they're playing their music in places that you don't want their music?
Yes, absolutely.
The beach, for instance.
Yes.
Have you noticed that if you go to the beach, like everybody's got their Bluetooth speaker now and they're playing their own jams and it's loud?
And yeah, except like just keep it within the group if you're going to play, right? It doesn't need to be so loud.
The other one that drives me crazy is there's an adults only lazy river. It's called Crocktail Creek over at Zoombezi Bay. And, we'll set the girls wild and they go ride slides and do their stuff. Mrs. Kirsch and I go grab a ice cold beverage and float around nicely and just catch up and have some one-on-one time.
As you deserve, yes.
There was a girl in there yesterday with her Bluetooth speaker who was playing Creed and Nickelback. And it was a bunch of Creed and Nickelback. And we would stop our little floaties and let her get further down the river.
Yep.
Somehow we would always catch up with her. And I was like, here we are listening to, Rockstar by Nickelback again. And I was like, can we just stop?
Does it not get wet?
Oh, they're waterproof.
I guess I just would never think of taking a Bluetooth speaker into a lazy river, but that's just me.
There was a lady swimming with one in the lazy river yesterday who had it attached to her foot, and she was underwater most of the time. We could. She was playing Nicki Minaj.
You're not supposed to swim in a lazy river.
The thing is, the zoo has a sound system in Crocktail Creek, and it's always playing Jimmy Buffett and Kenny Chesney and all this fun
beach music. Yeah.
Right. And then all of a sudden I get photographed by Nickelback blasted in my face. Thank you for that.
Did you tell her, I don't want to look for the photograph?
No, I just asked her if she took requests. And she looked at me like I was crazy.
I can picture how you said it, though. And I don't know how nice it was.
No, I was super nice. I was like, hey, do you take requests? Play some Kenny. She was like, yeah, whatever. Even I take requests. 99-1039 if you want to text us anytime.